Assalamualaikum and a very good day to my lecturer, Dr. Farid. Today for the group presentation, our group, which is Group H, would like to present for the assignment 2, which about designing recruitment and selection process for a job. Our group consists of 4 members, which are Nur Fatin binti ADUKA, Nur KHAIRUNNISA binti JAAFAR, Nur AIFA Aisyah binti Abdul Halim, and also JOTHI anak perempuan SITHAMPARAM PILLAI.
Hi and Assalamualaikum. My name is Nur AIFA Aisyah binti Abdul Halim and my metric number is 278932. I will explain the introduction parts of our report. TASCO was founded on 10 September 1974. In Malaysia, TASCO have 24 logistic centres, which is 22 logistic in Peninsular Malaysia and 2 logistic in Indonesia. But the corporate head office of TASCO company at Shah Alam, Selangor. TASCO has 4 core services that they offer. The first one is transportation service, second is warehousing and distribution service, third is solution service, and the last one is industry service. TASCO Yusen Gold Coal (TYGC) preferred leader in halal cold chain and retail logistics. This company provides solution and service for renowned global and domestic brands since 1998. The vision of TASCO is to connect people, business, and communities to a better future through logistics. Besides that, the mission of TASCO's company is to become the world's preferred supply chain logistics company.
Okay, for the first discussion is about COVID-19 outbreak is really impacting our country, which is Malaysia, and especially for the employment side. As for TYGC group, they also do face a few issues and challenges on the workforce practices. Basically, first of all, they are facing the management of managing the health and safety for their staff. The company needs to ensure that the employees must follow standard operating procedure, which is SOP. As a simple example, the hand sanitizers are available at all workplaces working with physical distancing, and they also need to get ready with all the face masks during the working hours. All the precautionary steps that are set by Kementerian Kesihatan Malaysia, which is KKM. Because they are working at a warehouse, the ventilation is a must so that they can ensure that every employee work in a safe environment. The company also makes changes for working hours in terms of shift 10. They don't want the workers to have close contact between them, especially during the pandemic for their safety. Okay, the next discussion is about, first and foremost, the issues and challenges which employees are facing in a remote working is a distraction at home since the employees are working from home. We can relate that situation which an employee as a mother with the kids cannot really concentrate on the job since working from home, especially from 9 a.m. until 6 p.m. They need to deal with some distractions such as noisy situation and make sure and manage the children's online learning at home are doing very well. Secondly, the challenge is the employee has to struggle with the internet connection, which is not a good state. Basically, TYGC group is unable to access various software via the internet such as Wi-Fi to take over the new working styles like remote working. So they have to find a solution to handle it by trying to connect with the VPN connection for the remote servers at the workplace. So this can make everything easier for the employees to do their work via the internet.
I will continue for the third of interview question, and the question is, what is the effect of COVID-19 on staffing practice in terms of quantity and quality of employees in your organization? In terms of quantity, HR manager of TYGC Group mentioned that quantity of employee doesn't affect at all. It is because TYGC company do not practice the staff during COVID-19 because the company is under essential service. Other than that, in terms of the quality of staffing practice of TYGC, During COVID-19, TYGC was made interview session virtually. HR manager of TYGC mentioned that face-to-face interview session better than doing online. Besides that, in terms of quality, which is health quality, employees have been conflicted COVID-19 previously, unable to hold longer hours at work. So, they will to take many medical certificates. Next question is, what are your organization recruitment practice in this challenging time? First, TYGC company will make a simple job application. They do not make many rounds of interview and they just have simplified it and use the skill test online like Microsoft Excel, Pivots and others. Second is job position. Human resource manager was mentioned that recruitment practice for sure will depends on job position as well. For example, the position that TYGC company are interviewed for requires them to be in the office and can be accessed by online only. Lastly, if the candidates or new employees was be at technical position like truck driver, TYGC will call them to training face-to-face and get them to try the machine.
When recruiting potential employees, TYGC focus heavily on external technique rather than internal way. For external method, TYGC use career websites such as JobStreet and Indeed rather than on Classified since it is more effective. TYGC also use employee referral. The TYGC create advert and request the internal employees publish content on social media platforms such as Facebook and WhatsApp. For internal method, TYGC used two options to recruit potential employees. The first option is for all employees to submit the CV and their application for the position if there are no proposal personnel available. The second internal way, if the company determine that competent employees are available to fill the position, the TYGC company will conduct specific tests such as project assignment, acting position, or hands-on tasks. If the employees successfully demonstrate that they are competent in fulfilling the task, the organization will promote them to the position. When it comes to internal selection, one of the most significant criteria employed by TYGC is choosing new workers in performance appraisal. Employees who have worked for 2 or 3 years and have achieved a flawless grade are example how performance appraisal are carried out. In addition, TYGC offers a 360 assessment. However, TYGC does not have a specialist 360 assessment system. During the appraisal round, HR management meet with department head to evaluate staff performance before promoting or demoting them. In addition to Excel tests, IQ tests and reference checks, TYGC offers technical assessment and internal behavioral procedure for the external candidate. It is necessary to employ an internal strategy of behavior because candidate will put all of the beautiful words in their CV but will be unable to provide a detailed response when questioned about the candidate action on the work based on the candidate CV.
The interviewee is the head of HR at TYGC company. She plays a vital role in consulting the hiring managers. Due to the pandemic, the company has been struggling to hire new staffs. To fulfill the vacant positions, the hiring managers choose candidates who are not compatible with the job. And once they are not satisfied with the results of the candidates, they look to HR department to help shift the candidate to a different department. To avoid these kind of situations, the interviewee would have a thorough discussion with the hiring manager about the candidate that they have in mind. The discussion consists of the attitude, the competency, and the person job compatible of the candidate, along with the compensation for them. Once the discussion is over, the interviewee would write a report in order to keep track of the candidates about the compensation, their attitude, and the person job compatibility. The interviewee is also in charge to advise the suitable role for the candidate. They would analyze the compatibility of the candidate and choose the best role for them and the company. The issue faced by the company in HR planning is wrong forecasting of staff required, especially on project basis. They tend to overstaff or understaff for projects. So, If they're understaffed for a project, they would hire more subcontractors to fill in the manpower. Whereas on the other hand, where they overstaff for a project, they would deploy the overstaffs and they would talk to these affected staffs. And the interviewee and her team would be responsible to call in other head departments and find out if there are any other vacancies and shift these overstaffs to the other departments. The company is finding out best methods to optimize their manpower in the company. The company is struggling to attract candidates under recruitment and selection. The company could not afford to give high compensation and benefits plans like the luxurious oil and gas industries. The company is a logistic industry. Therefore, millennials who are expecting high benefit plans and working less would tend to look at logistic company as the last place to apply for work. The company is struggling to hire fresh graduates who would work for experience and not for money. Job analysis is a process of collecting and analyzing information needed for a job. It is used to determine the abilities, the knowledge, and the requirements needed to execute the job. Job analysis can be conducted with various methods. Our group has combined prior information and interview method to conduct the job analysis. Prior information method is used to determine the job's task, the obligation, as well as the KSAOs needed for the job. However, prior information cannot be solely used to conduct job analysis since the job evolves with time. Therefore, the information obtained from prior information method might not be relevant with the job scope of today. Therefore, the prior information method is backed up with interview method. The HR expert at TYGC company has helped to given more insight about the manager role in HR. She explained the aim of conducting job analysis as well as how the results would be used. The information gained from the prior information method and the interview method is combined to create the job advertisement. The job description of a HR manager at TYGC company is to manage and supervise the team of talent acquisition, talent management, performance management, employee relation, payroll, foreign workers management, as well as compensation and benefit. They also have to focus on quickly hiring productivity, closing recruitment jobs, and building a competent pipeline. They also have to develop sustainable plans to improvise the overall functionality of the company's HR strategies, tactics, and their procedures. Finally, they have to assess, review individual and teams' performance and development plans as well as the skills and capabilities. Job specification for the HR manager role is to have a bachelor degree at HR or any relevant field. They have to have a minimum of 8 years working experience and 4 years in a relevant field. They have to be well versed with Malaysian Labour Law, Employment Act, and governing rules and procedures on the engagement of foreign workers. They have to be able to interact with employees at all levels. Experience in logistic, warehouse, and supply chains is a bonus. And finally, they have to be proficient in Microsoft Office applicants.
Okay, let's moving on to the next, which is methods that are used in the job advertisement. Based on the job advertisement, there are two methods that have been identified for the external recruitment messages. First, it can be seen that the first method used is the targeted method. A targeted method is known as one method to improve job matching to focus the recruitment message to the target applicants. A targeted method is an appropriate match to the targeted search for the hiring position as a human resource manager for the company. TYGC Group probably utilize the marketing research approaches to design a targeted message. For example, the company is using that method because the information convey light advertising, the teams of the company are designated to attract a specific set of employees to be hired. The company also looking for their applicants with an energetic personality, with ability to interact with individuals at all levels from different cultural backgrounds. Furthermore, by using this method, the organization may simply locate certain KSAOs for a specific sort of applicants. Okay, besides that, the second method is branded method. The company is using that method because they would like to express an attractive message to the potential applicants who may generate an employment brand. For instance, the employment brand of TYGC Group is closely associated with its market growth and image. In the company, the more customers, also known as potential applicants, are of an organization's employment brand, the more interested they are in applying for a position as a human resource manager. A company's website is consistently used to provide information as to its culture and to highlight the employment brand. Under the careers section, the company website reveals info about the company's history, culture, diversity, compensation, and also the particular job descriptions. One of the examples, TYGC Group, shows it has progressively expanded by diversifying into multiple temperature control logistic and warehousing services.
A company ability to hire the right employees is one of its most important considerations for human resources experts to attain and sustain a competitive advantage. One of the most effective channels for finding numerous applications is placing job advertisements on career websites. This online recruiting process allows the company to promote itself to candidates while also allowing applicants to analyze the amount of match between their KSA and the needs of the position they are seeking. In addition, the appetite of job candidate is evaluated in terms of past coursework, work knowledge, and previous job-related work experience, among other things. As a result, when the employee is offered a position in an organization that meets their individual and professional needs, it encourages positive results. The following selection tool for a human resources manager position is to use an employee referral program. Recruiting through employee recommendation is a hybrid of internal and external recruitment. Compared to employees who work through other media, the productivity of this referral personnel is significantly greater. Candidates who had been suggested to the company were also found to have greater company appropriateness, which was a top priority for employees because they were already familiar with its culture and working environment before joining the organization. When employees enter a workplace, they are familiar with at least one person and know what to expect. Employees' referrals have been shown to enhance retention rates.
Lastly is conclusion. Tasco, which is TYGC, is a large business company and has subsidiaries around Malaysia. Human Resource Manager of TYGC Company shares about the company during COVID-19, and she also explained clearly based on 8 questions in interview session. Besides that, under this company, the designing of internal job structure, which are job analysis, job description, and job specification already discussed. The job analysis assists in combination of methods, and the job description and job specification for hiring a human resource manager were clearly explained and accomplished. 2 methods are using in advertisement for human resource manager for TYGC company is targeted method and branded method. Lastly, 3 selection tools have been discussed which are modern technology, online recruiting and referrals that have been used in recruiting new employees. That's all from us. Thank you.